Good morning. My name is Pauline Wanja. I'm one of Segal's African Visionary Fellows. And in our last seminar, we were asked to reflect and comment on our 2-year journey as fellows. And since it was on camera, I want to think I said all the right thing in line with the purpose of the African Visionary Fellowship, which is to build the capacity of stellar individuals who are leading worthwhile organizations that are devising local solutions to local challenges. On my way back to the seminar, I journaled that the most significant impact for me for the fellowship was that I learned to speak out. I attended a typical Kenyan high school, nestled in tea plantation. I get to go back often because of the nature of my work. And in one of such visits, I spotted a big signpost that reads, "Great minds are made in silence." I had a good time in high school. I even got awarded an award for being the most disciplined student. But now when I look back, I think it was an award for being the quietest girl in school. It was a missionary school, and our principal was a sweet British woman. And in my initial years of working in alumni relations, I worked with our UK affiliate. What I'm trying to say is that I learned to do my work efficiently and very quietly. But the work we do requires more of us than that. We have to communicate to a diverse audience, and we have to do that with skills, with confidence, and for impact. So I spent the last 2 years in my African Visionary Fellowship learning to speak out, literally so. In one of our seminars, the seminar was on pitching, and my coach was Andy of Segal Family Foundation. And as we were crafting my pitch, he suggested or recommended that since we are the only organization working in alumni relation, that I should say we are the leading organization. I wondered whether he wanted me to say out that loud or whether it was actually okay for me to say that out loud. At a conference in Nairobi, one of the fellow introduced me as the leading alumni relation expert in the country. I wanted to pull her aside and let her know next time, just my name will do. Hi, Peggy. And a few months ago, a journalist visited our office. She was doing a piece on how alumni associations are transforming the country's secondary education. She was attributing the increase of alumni activity in a certain year to the work. I really struggled with that, and I tried to give her other possibility. I mentioned WhatsApp happened that year, and that Obama came back home, inspiring a lot of homecomings. In the last couple of years, I've been part of a technical committee that was drafting a mentorship policy for our basic education. I was silent for most of the drafting process, but early this year, as the committee met to finalize on the policy, and in the spirit of speaking out, I slipped a note to the facilitator requesting for 5 minutes to address the committee. I wanted an opportunity to say a global survey indicates that 78% of Kenyans are willing to give back to their former schools, but only 1% is doing so. I'm also getting better at engaging the 78%. This year in 2019, across over just 100 of our schools, alumni mentored over 100,000 students and contributed over $2.6 million in alumni giving. I'm not there yet. And it has taken an Apollo-sized kind of effort to put me on stage today. But I'm working on it. I know the stakes are high. The fate of our country education system is really dependent on it. I know you're all doing good work and addressing some of the most complex challenges of our time. And I'm basing this merely by your presence in this gathering every year. In New Jersey, in Nairobi, in Kampala, and someplace in East Africa probably next year. And it's no longer enough to just gather, collaborate, and work efficiently. We have to speak out on these complex issues we are trying to address. The stakes are too high for anything less. Thank you. And thank you for your continual support, especially of the African Visionary Fellow. There is 52 of us in the room today, and we'd like to share our fellowship journeys and tell you also how we are playing the game to change the game. Thank you.